Yo, what's up? My name is Petrowski MTG, and about 6 months ago, I made a video trying to manipulate the reserved list with only $100. Did it work? Today, we're going to find out. First things first, if you haven't seen that video, make sure to check it out. The link should be in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like it and subscribe, of course. Now, the biggest part of that video was deciding what card should we actually pick. And I go through my entire thought process on everything, including price, viability, how often that card will get played, and how it will play in the future. We ended up deciding on Cadaverous Bloom because, in my opinion, it's a really cool commander card. It's really fun. It's fun. It's cool. People will want to play it. It's in cool colors in Golgari, and as card draw increases, as green gets more and more access to card draw over the years, I think you're going to have more cards in your hand to dump into a card like this and ramp up your mana. What are the two things that commander players love to do? Draw cards, have tons of mana. I think they often can prioritize drawing cards over the mana aspect. They end up with too many cards in their hand, not enough to do with it, and I think Cadaverous Bloom solves that problem. So, of course, I went ahead and did the thing that any responsible adult would do. I went ahead and bought 28 copies of Cadaverous Bloom of differing qualities, most of which are lightly played. Although, looking back, some of these centerings are so bad, they're probably not actually lightly played, so I will need to sell them if I plan to sell them in the future, which I do not plan to sell these yet. I am mostly just doing an update and checking on how the investment is doing, but we have all of these beautiful Cadaverous Blooms. These ones are considered damaged, which is why they're flipped around there in the back. And I also have one of them in a commander deck. So I am, putting my money where my mouth is at and actually using the card because it's a lot of fun and it works very well in my Gitrog deck. Now, I ended up purchasing all of these Cadaverous Blooms for around $3.60 a piece, obviously varying depending on the condition. This does include the cost of shipping as well. That's really important. I don't like when Magic creators disclude the cost of shipping. That counts as part of the card. And as you can see, I went ahead and logged them on MTG Stocks. All right, so time for the moment of truth, the realization. How much is this card selling for now? Remember, I bought them all for about $3.60. Well, according to MTG Stocks, these cards go for about $7 on average. I spent about $106 on these cards after shipping and tax, and now MTG Stocks is guesstimating that my inventory is worth around $220 in Cadaverous Blooms. That is over a 118% increase in 6 months. For those who don't know, the average ROI, or return on investment, for a typical stock or variety of stocks in the stock market is around 8% per year. If you're doing 8 to 10% per year, you're doing pretty darn well. 118% in 6 months is ridiculous. However, I am not here to sell you panic and sell you hype. I don't actually get all of that in profit. There are selling fees, shipping fees, and all kinds of things to consider when dealing with Magic cards, on top of how long it would actually take to sell this quantity of them. Also, MTG Stocks isn't always accurate in terms of what the card is going for. It kind of averages things out, but if you want to really sell these cards in a quick manner, you really want to check TCG Player and just see how much they're going for. It wouldn't surprise me if there are copies of Cadaverous Blooms for around $4, maybe $4.50 on TCG Player. Even if not at high quantities, there's probably going to be at least 3 to 7 would be my guess. Let's go ahead and double check though. And honestly, wow, at first glance, I am honestly really impressed. $6 is the cheapest copy of Cadaverous Bloom right now over on TCG Player. However, let's do some real math. Shipping is generally $1.27 on TCG Player, so you take that $6, you subtract about $1.50. Post fees, it would be about $1.80. Let's just say, screw it, and let's calculate it down to like $4 profit per card. I think that's a fair guesstimate that I sell for $6. And $4 is just what I'm getting back from the card, right? I paid $3.60. So if we take $4 minus $3.60, now we're getting 40 cents profit realistically per card. This is the reality, in my opinion, of Magic the Gathering investing. I think it's easy to get lost in the numbers. You need a card to go up in value tremendously, or do like an off TCG Player sell and sell directly to another person. There are ways to make more profit off of this, but in my opinion, this is the real profit that I'm looking at over the last 6 months or so. $11.20. I think this is a good reminder and a good wake-up call to anyone investing in Magic the Gathering cards. There is a lot of extra numbers that people like to leave off or forget about and kind of just gloss over. Things look really pretty on the surface. I mean, this card is doing really well on top of it as well, right? Like, it is up, look at that, it is up 21% over the past 6 months. That's really, really good. Over the past year, it's up almost a little bit over 50%. This is like best case scenario for a Magic the Gathering investment. And even still, after fees and shipping and costs, you're not going to be making a ton of that money back. However, it's not all doom and gloom, right? $11 on a $106 investment is about 10%. That is actually beating the ROI on the stock market within half the time, only 6 months, by buying Magic the Gathering cards. But once again, this card's gone up a lot, and this is kind of like a better case or best case scenario in my personal opinion, aside from it just like shooting to the moon overnight. The real point of this video is just to show you guys the reality of investing or buying a bunch of Magic cards like this. I think the general sentiment, or my personal opinion rather, is that if you want to buy a bunch of cards like this for fun, if you got $100 to risk, $100 to throw around, or whatever money you can afford, and you want to do it for fun because you love the card, it's really every few months you'll pull it out and you'll look through these and see how pretty the card is, and it's cool to own this amount of copies and blah blah blah. I think go for it. But if you are trying to make the most amount of, you're trying to get your retirement set up, then I wouldn't recommend this. I would just go buy ETFs, guys. Go buy index funds. Play it safe. I know it's the boring stuff, but when it comes to, and I'm a high risk, high reward kind of guy when it comes to every video game, every card game that I play. I love those style of decks. I mean, I'm a Stifle Not player. I get it. When it comes to finances, I don't recommend high risk, high reward in most situations. That's the area where you want to go and play it safe. But obviously, everybody's different. I'm not your dad. Go do whatever you want to do at the end of the day. Whatever makes you happy. This video really just doesn't have an agenda. It's not meant to tell you guys like, oh yeah, go buy a bunch of reserve list rares, or don't go buy a bunch of reserve list rares. I'm just showing you guys how my experience went, and I'm really glad I did it. Looking back, I'm really glad I did it. Things have went really well. I think it's been a lot of fun. I really like the card. I like talking about it. I love talking about Magic. It's honestly just a cool feeling to have your money in Magic cards as well as your Roth IRA, right? I think it's just neat, and it's a fun time. So if you want to do it as a fun time, as a little bit of a gimmick, a little bit of a gag on top of, you know what, maybe you'll make some money, then hell yeah, brother. Go out there, buy some reserve list rares, buy some reserve list Magic cards. Maybe you'll make a quick buck. If not, you might have some fun, or, have a fun story, have some cards to give out to friends on Commander Night. But that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching a non-Magic finance YouTuber talk about Magic finance. I think it's fun to talk about cards and card prices without making it your entire personality. That's kind of my goal. Like this video once again if you enjoyed it. It helps me out a ton. Subscribe. I would love to reach over 1,000 subscribers on this channel. It'd be a huge milestone. Obviously, getting monetized selfishly is cool. Getting paid a few cents, a few dollars a month to talk about a game that you love sounds pretty cool to me, but only do it if I've earned it. That's really freaking important to me. Otherwise, have a great day. Buy cards you enjoy. Good luck to you guys. Let's have some more discussions in the future. And for now, peace, Reno.